Have you and your team ever been in a bar fight?
Oh, I love that you asked this. Yes. Let me tell you a little story about being jumped by about 30 Muslim dudes in the Philippines.
And not like a Tim Kennedy 30, like a true 30.
A true 30. I'm
Right,
not trying to fight anybody.
right,
I'm getting like sucker punched in the back of the head, the front of the head. Our team sergeant's got 2 black guys. Our junior Charlie's got black eyes, split open face, split open lips.
Welcome back to the channel, y'all. Today, what are we talking about? Yes, the topic of can soldiers fight? Well, they definitely think they can, but can they really? And this topic actually goes back about a year when, well, a bunch of dumbass Navy SEALs came out and started talking about how they could beat up UFC fighter Sean Strickland in a street fight, all right? Then we're also going to take a look at a video of UFC fighter Paddy Pimblett basically just ragdolling 10 Marines in a row. And we're going to cover some misconceptions that a lot of people have about how much combat arts and hand-to-hand combat training the U.S. military and special forces, etc., actually gets. All right, and then I'm going to tell you guys some real stories about Green Berets and even Devgru operators getting the shit kicked out of them in bar fights, and then give a little life advice in the back end. All right, so those clips from the start of the video actually are from a Patreon interview of me and Brent Tucker talking about just this exact thing, funny stories and Green Berets getting beat up in bar fights. So if you're interested in seeing more of that, check out our Patreon. All right, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Really helps the channel. Let's jump right in and talk about misconceptions. Okay, unfortunately, Hollywood has done a lot of work to make the general public think that, you know, the military or infantrymen, Marines, Special Forces, Green Berets, Navy SEALs, we are experts in hand-to-hand combat. Well, I'm here to burst the bubble of all of you, and unfortunately, no. We spend extremely little amounts of time on hand-to-hand combat, and it's for a reason, okay? If you really think about things, all right, time investment into training. All right, the odds that you're going to find yourself unarmed by yourself and in a hand-to-hand fight with someone in combat is extremely, extremely low. All right, yes, there are stories of it here and there of Medal of Honor winners, but again, if you have to invest your time in training, are you going to put it all in hand-to-hand combat or with tactics and firearms training? Okay, of course, the latter, that's what we're going to do 99.999% of the time. That's why that time investment goes there. Now, I will say up front, there are absolutely soldiers who are highly dedicated to different combat arms training, martial arts training, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, etc. But again, it's not really part of a core military curriculum of training. Now, we do have things like MACP and SOCP, Special Operators Combatives Program, and things like that. But again, guys, very low level, okay? It's there to teach you the basics. And if you are very dedicated to it as a hobby, sure, you're going to be great. But your average Marine, your average Green Beret, your average Navy SEAL, can they fight? All right, that's what we're going to talk about today. First, let's jump over and watch this clip of UFC fighter Paddy Pimblett, again, just basically folding 10 Marines in a row like they're chairs.
Someone knew he was going to get in.
Oh, that just want to do that? I don't mind doing that, either.
No, it's fine. Do it. Yeah, I'm a 10 Marine. Matt, baby.
Cause I know better. I ain't got no chill, so they call me. No. No.
feeling like? Reset.
Once you get out, listen.
All right, so as you can see there, when you take an actual high-level trained fighter, put him up against 10 young, in shape, and I believe it was a MARSOC flag in the background, so I'm assuming those are MARSOC dudes, and that's kind of the highest level of training you're going to get. And again, just absolutely folds 10 dudes in a row, which is actually incredibly impressive from just a cardio standpoint and understanding like he's putting in like 30% actual effort to be able to do that through 10 people back to back to back, right? So next we're going to talk about some actual stories about guys getting beat up in bar fights and international incidents and different things like that. You guys are going to find interesting. But before we do that, quick shout out to our partners over at Tasty Gains pre-workout gummies. All right, we're talking about high intensity workout type stuff like combat arts, like Brazilian jiu-jitsu, whatever. Guys, if you're looking for more energy, check out Tasty Gains. All right, guys, we're back with our partners at Tasty Gains, and they got a new product, pre-workout gummies. Now, if you're like me, you're trying to get rid of your last vice, which is energy drinks, you need to swap over to pre-workout gummies. Best part about these, they're organic, 1 gram of sugar, give your liver and your kidneys a break from all those energy drinks. 30 servings of this, only $30, far cheaper than your Red Bull habit. If you're looking for an awesome pre-workout, it's gonna give you all the same effects as your regular pre-workout for a way better price, swap over, try Tasty Gains gummies. Now let's hit this workout. All right, so let's talk some stories, okay? And I'll tell you ones that I just know personally, okay? Or have seen with my own eyes, all right? So, yes, it is very common that a lot of young Green Berets who show up to 1st Special Forces Group straight out of the Q course thinking they are the most badass men on the planet. And while, yes, you have demonstrated extreme levels of toughness, fortunately being tough doesn't mean you can fight, okay? And what a lot of these young bucks find out is they head out into downtown Tacoma, get drunk, head into the country bar, and end up getting in a fight and getting the absolute shit beat out of them in downtown Tacoma by, actual grown men who are out there looking for fights, all right? So, yes, and this happens to Ranger Battalion and guys like that too, guys. So, you gotta be... And a point, it's kind of a PSA to young guys out there, especially you young bucks in the military. You just finished basic training. You're heading on out to downtown in downtown Columbus, Georgia. Just please be mature. Don't get yourself in a fight. We're going to talk about the repercussions of what can happen to you in the military if you do some alcohol-related incidents and fighting, going to jail at the end. But next, let's talk about causing international incidents because, yes, unfortunately, a lot of those have been caused by getting in bar fights, right? But by Green Berets, okay? In my company, while I was at First Group, yes, we did have a team down the hall ended up getting in a huge major blowout bar fight, and I believe it was Tibet. And yeah, to the point where, one of the guys got stabbed a bunch of times. Another guy got hit across the head with a chair. He had to get like 25 stitches across his face. They all ended up in prison. And yes, the embassy had to get involved. The Department of Defense had to get involved. And obviously, most of those guys got relieved from duty. Okay, so not great. Another one, sort of famous in special operations community, yes, their Devgru operator who was at a bar with some other Navy SEALs and I believe a PJ, and walks up to the bar, sits down, kind of shoves this small Hispanic guy out of the way, tells him to scram, get lost, whatever. The guy's like, what's your problem? Flips him off, and this other dude pulls out a small pocket knife, stabs him up in the axe pocket 3 or 4 times. The PJ tried to cut him open to save his life and was not able to. And yes, he bled out and died in that bar. Okay, so again, thinking you're the toughest, baddest dude on the planet, tier 1, and all of a sudden somebody half your size puts you down with a pocket knife. All right, and this is why you shouldn't go out looking for a fight, right? Street fights, bar fights, and guys, I'm guilty of this myself. I've been in quite a few bar fights, and I've been punched in the face quite a few times. And guys, it's not that fun. I'll be honest with you. All right, so try to avoid it at all costs. Also, understand this, guys. 1, you could potentially throw your life away. or there's other people out there willing to throw their lives away. Okay, so you can go out, think you're going to get in a fist fight. A lot of people are armed, understand that, and they have no hesitations, about ending your life in what you thought was going to be a bar fight or a fist fight in the street. They just pull a weapon out and put you down. Okay, so not only that, if you end up severely injuring someone, you yourself will also find yourself in terrible position in the court of law, because with legal use of force, guys, you have to demonstrate for self-defense that you were the one that's the victim. You were the one that tried to de-escalate the situation. You were the one that tried to avoid it, tried to escape it. And if that's not the case, yeah, you're going to be hosed. Okay, and when we're talking about, most of these are alcohol related incidents. If you are in the military, guys, this isn't the 70s and the 80s where you can go out and get in a bar fight and get picked up by your sergeant major from the jail cell. It's not how this stuff works anymore. All right, they were going to fry your career. If you get arrested for alcohol related incidents and fighting, you are pretty much done. Okay, so I'm just, again, some life advice to all you young bucks that watch the channel, right? Be mature. When you go out, I would always tell you this, as a 40-year-old man now, I am always looking to de-escalate every situation. Okay, not going to pretend to be the tough guy, because at the end of the day, I'm not, comparatively, right? Yes, big, strong, athletic, I have some combative arts background, but somebody like Paddy Pimblett is just going to fold me up like a chair and bounce my head off the concrete. Okay, so let's not go down that road. All right, guys, so de-escalate. Somebody bumps into you, you apologize, right? Somebody knocks a drink out of your hand or vice versa, offer them to buy another drink, or offer to buy them a drink. Like, okay, there's no point in trying to be tough out there, guys. It doesn't look cool, doesn't make you look cool, it just makes you look like a dipshit 20-year-old. Right, so guys, take it from me. Yeah, can U.S. soldiers fight? Again, some can, some can't. It's no different than the broader male demographic in the United States. Okay, so if you are one of those young Marines or young infantrymen who thinks because you graduated basic training with zero, actual combat arts training, besides a little bit of MACP maybe, guys, just trust me, don't go down that road. All right, so again, if you want to see me and more of me and Brent's episode from Patreon, check that out. Also, guys, PSA, yes, speaking of Brent Tucker and the Anti-Hero Podcast, I will be out at the Anti-Hero Podcast Thursday for their live stream, and also me and Brent are going to do some extra content. We're looking at doing some CQB content, some cool stuff as well, so we'll see what happens with that. But that's going to do it for this one, and I will catch y'all in the next one.